All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. I wanted to come on here just for a moment and talk to you about the divorce. Sister Carol and I just got finished coming back from a very elegant dinner with Sister Nancy. That's another native Israelite sister here in the Fresno area. And we were sitting at the table and we were talking. And of course, her sentiments is the same as everybody who actually come to the meeting, because it makes, Pastor Don makes no qualm about it. You already know what I understand, what I preach and teach, and what I believe. And many of you out there have experienced the same letdown that I experienced well over 15, 20 years ago. And what I'm talking about the divorce. When you come to realize that your relationship with the Christian church and your relationship with your government has soured. Both the church and the government has been unfaithful to you. What do people naturally experience in the world when they go through a divorce? Well, they experience depression. They experience anger. They experience rage. They experience betrayal. You go through so many different changes before you actually can grasp what's going on, before you can take the next step and then move on. It is a serious letdown to understand that your spouse has been cheating on you. Man, all this time from the very beginning, they have lied to you. The church, the Christian church, has lied to you about everything. And your government has lied to you about everything. Then all of a sudden, like a bruised and battered spouse, you want to take revenge. You really, truly do. You're angry. You're upset. You really want to get after that. You want heads to spin. Because how do you control this anger, and how do you control this rage that's now inside of you after you experience all of this betrayal, all of this depression, all this anger, all these different emotions that you have to go through? You're on a roller coaster ride, and you're trying to make sense of things. You ask yourself why over and over again. I can't believe that these people would purposely deceive me and lie to me. I can't believe that they would take advantage to me. I can't believe that I've been living a life of make-believe. I can't believe I've been living a lie all of my life, and it just doesn't make sense. Well, after you get finished moping, and after you get finished with your personal pity-patty party, you know that the only way you're going to affect change is you've got to become proactive, the thing that you've never done before in your life. You've actually have got to wake up, the thing you've never done before in your life. You've actually have got to start charting a brand new course. And you've got to actually to protect yourself to make sure that this stuff never happens to you again. Most people are not willing to do that because they're too fearful. They're too fearful to actually take something upon their own self responsibility and affect change within their own hearts and their life. It's like we sit back and we wait for everybody else to do it for us because we have a welfare mentality in this country. After all, we've been used to either spouse doing everything for us and thinking for us, or we've been used to either government doing everything for us and thinking for us. When we're in a relationship, most of us, we're in a relationship just so we can take, and we're really not proactive at all in the relationship. After all, there are certain duties that must be performed in every relationship, and of course, most of us, we're becoming a heavy weight and a heavy burden. And so it's going to be very difficult if you have that type of mentality to be able to function in the days ahead when you don't clearly understand what's transpired, what has transpired, and what has taken place in your life even up to this point. So you're going to have to actually fill yourself full of knowledge, because if you don't, you already experience what it means to be destroyed by not having any at all. And when you don't have any at all, you have no recourse. For the duress, you have no recourse. For the pain that you're feeling, you don't have no answers whatsoever at all. So in order to not be destroyed, that means you're going to have to arm yourself with knowledge, because knowledge is power. And what that knowledge does is it gives you the ability to chart your course in your days ahead. Not only that, it gives you the discernment to be able to see things afar off. And then all of a sudden you start doing your research. You do your due diligence that way, and next thing you know, you become a historian, because you start to look at the pattern of things. You see that things seem to continue to keep repeating themselves again and again and again and again. And what's one of my old sayings I keep echoing all the time from the rooftop? Those who don't know history, they're destined to repeat the same mistakes of the past. And of course, what have we done in this country? We've repeated the same mistakes again and again and again and again. So you found out you can't trust your spouse. You can't trust the government. Now you have to actually find someone of like mind, like precious faith, who understands, who gets it. People of principle, people of honor, people of integrity, people who have these virtues that are actually physically operating in their lives. I mean, really, literally, physically operating in their lives. These are the type of people you're going to have to align yourself with. These are the type of people you're going to have to associate with, because if you continue to keep associating and aligning yourself with people who are dumb, stupid, and ignorant, and all they have is a bunch of anger and rage, and they don't know how to actually channel it and place it where it should be, because displaced anger and displaced rage is actually the stupidity of man, and that's just a flat out truth. You're going to find yourself even in more of a trouble. You know, in the scriptures, it talks about a king, all right? You think about this for a second. I want you to listen to me. And I know that as soon as I start talking about the Bible, remember, when you come to my YouTube page, it does say Pastor Dow. So that you automatically should know what you're getting ready to listen to. Don't practice dishonor and not want to, try to send me all kind of crazy mails talking about I don't like what you said and stuff. From the very beginning, when you come to the channel, you already know that I'm a pastor. That's why I have that up there, Pastor Dow, and it's not my first name. You understand that? So let's go into the scriptures and let's get some understanding. Let's talk about this king for a second, all right? Given a few hundred years ago, if you were a king and you were in charge of a particular nation or province, and you saw that another king is getting ready to make war with you, the first thing you would do is you would sit down and you would consider to see if you have enough forces, resources, in order to make a successful campaign against your enemy that is coming against you. That's the first thing you would do. And then if you did not have enough resources nor men to be able to fight this war, you would actually come to the table, sit down to see if you could actually discuss this thing peaceably and see if we could actually come out and fare better than we would have in war, rather than to actually just lose everything totally. That's one of the first steps. Today you got a bunch of hot-headed people who want to go out here and just try to blow up the government, blow up everything, blow up everybody. But notice, they want to do all this, but they want to do it with you involved with them. They don't want to do it by themselves. So the truth is, they're closet cowards, because everything that they have in their hearts that they think they want to do, they don't have enough intestinal fortitude, nor integrity, nor do they have enough testicular fortitude to even do it themselves. So, you have to watch things very carefully. But you sit down and you consider carefully, if you have, let me just throw a hypothetical number, 400,000 soldiers, all right? And the king that you're getting ready to fight against, or your enemy, he turns around and he has 2 million soldiers. You automatically know that's not going to be a successful campaign. And you know at this time that you're not ready for this fight whatsoever at all. So you're going to actually sit down at the table, and you're going to make some type of concessions to see what you can come to in order to come to a peaceful agreement. In other words, use wisdom to try to be able to fight another day. That's what we need. And that's, it takes time for you to be able to do that, especially if you just now waking up and you realize that you have been dumb, you have been deceived, you have been docile, you have been dormant, you have been apathetic, you have been complacent, and you have lived your whole entire life in this matrix of make-believe, thinking you know what's going on, and you've been the dumbest person on the face of planet Earth. That's a hard hit, a very hard hit. So, we have to use wisdom. A city can be won by one man that uses wisdom. I hope that I've been able to say something that will bring some type of inspiration to you here this evening. More than anything, I hope that you really, truly hear my words and listen to what I'm saying, so that you will have recourse, and so you'll be able to know how to take action at the appropriate time, whether it be naturally or physically. And that's just the truth. Usually divorces are pretty messy. They're pretty bad. And people either go one way or the other after divorce. Some people just go off the deep end, they lose all hope. But then there are other people who actually strengthen their resolve. They turn and they get into the fight. They shake the dust off themselves. They shake the dust off people. And you know what they do? They say, never again.